And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, Cheap Ludes. Let's talk about the market in NBA 2K22, my team, because it's a little bit interesting. Season 8 just launched. You know, we got all the bells and whistles, all the fun stuff going on in Season 8. Luke Longley is here. That's pretty tight. Shout out to Luke Longley, dude. Do you think Luke Longley pulled hose back in the day? No, right? There's no possible way. He was an NBA player, but Jesus Christ, is he doofy. No way. We got Jay Crowder in here. That's pretty cool. Fat Lever's in here, in case anybody wanted that. Tom Chambers is in here. Hell yes, dude. I didn't know Tom Chambers was going to get a card. Really excited about that. We got a Swish Deluxe pack up here, which I'm interested. It's a Swish Deluxe Dark Matter pack at 38, which is kind of cool, you know. Not really anything crazy, but you know, a lot of XP. But let's talk about the market. Yeah, these packs were something else. The odds are not quite as good as you would expect, but you know, it is what it is. It's kind of the game that you play. I had pretty good luck, but I would kind of avoid opening these if you can, just because majority of the time you're just going to get cards that are really cheap. And honestly, every single card aside from the end game and the Invincibles are going to be really cheap. Like ridiculously cheap. And you're going to end up getting the Power Within, Shaq, and All-Star Kobe 90% of the time. As you can see. Which these bad boys are selling for absolute dirt cheap. Which, I mean, makes sense based on a variety of factors. But mainly the fact that they're basically unusable again at this point. Based solely on the kind of cards that we have available. Now, the Invincible cards aren't even going for as much as you really would want them to go for, honestly. And I'll talk about that in a second, which it makes sense based on what was released today. You know, the odds are good. You're going to get a lot more Dark Matters than you would on a normal basis through normal packs, but you just kind of have to accept that none of them are really going to be the ones that you want for the most part, you know? Like, this would be exciting to me if I didn't know the price of which this Shaquille O'Neal is going for, which is astronomically low. Comparatively to what you would expect. I would be excited. I'm going to keep opening them until I stop pulling Dark Matters, even though I'm losing MT. No. There we go. Ooh, Lonnie Walker, new Lakers superstar. Lonnie Walker, dude. Shout out to me. 3 straight Shaqs. That's fun. This is Celtics Galactic Shaq. Just pulling Shaqs like crazy, I guess, today. Today's just Shaq day. Aside from the 2 Shaqs that I actually kind of wanted are not ones that I'm going to be pulling, it would appear. I'll stop opening them when I stop getting Dark Matters. We'll see what these cards actually go for because I haven't really seen too much. That's 4 straight Dark Matters, so I'm on a roll, dude. But none of them are going to be endgame cards. Oh, there we go. A little different. We got a Kobe. It's hard to tell which Kobe that you're actually going to get because they're all Lakers Kobe's. So, All-Star. Yep. Yep. Going for a pretty ridiculous amount of MT. Pretty ridiculously low is what I should say. Look at all these terrible auctions that I have. Who's getting the boot? Let's just give... Paul George isn't going for anything. Let's just get rid of him. Let's throw my Celtics jersey. All right. One more. Just when I stop pulling Dark Matters, I'll stop opening it. That's how I feel. I know this is a pack opening, or this is not a pack opening, but you know what? David Thompson, and yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Looking at the cards that came out today, let's look at the myriad of Shaq and Kobe's that came out today. Let's start with Glitch Shaq. Glitch Shaq is actually really cheap. Like, I saw someone say he was going for about 50K, and I didn't know how accurate that was, but it appears that it is actually pretty accurate. And Glitch Shaq is very good, by the way. He is. I mean, it's a Shaq that can shoot threes at a competent clip. He's the second best Shaq that we received today. Well, third best, technically, because I forgot about the Invincible one, to be honest. So he's the third best Shaq that we got today, but I mean, you're getting essentially the same level of production as Invincible Shaq for a fraction of the cost. I mean, Invincible Shaq's only like 250K or something last I checked, but at the same time, you can get this one for 50K, and he's going to bring you a little bit of everything that Glitch Shaq is going to bring you, just to a smaller degree in certain aspects, but either way, I mean, you could sell your Glitch or your Invincible Shaq and pick up this one, and it wouldn't be that much of a downgrade. He's probably one of the best centers for under 100K for sure. Like I've said before, I feel like Shaq's player model is just not as big as you'd want it to be. But I mean, this Shaq can do it all. He can shoot, he can dribble. I mean, he's got basically 90 plus in everything. 95 speed, 92 speed with ball. Like, Shaq's perfectly fine. There's really nothing wrong with this card. He's fire. Larry Bird, by the way, is like, I bought mine for $11K just now because he came out in a limited time locker code, which, by the way, limited time locker codes are back. Unless you're running blue stacks, you're not going to get them, but, you know, it's something to, I guess, pay attention to. Yao Ming is not as cheap as I had wanted him to be, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just have to accept. We got the NBA 75 extras. This Shaq's going for about $30K, which, like, I mean, for $30K is not terrible. He's fine. I would personally splurge the extra MT on Glitch Shaq if you have that option, but if you don't, just save up. Don't even buy this Shaq. There's really no point. I mean, it's not like he's awful or anything. He's got an 83-point shot, but the other one's just so much better just because he brings you that other element, that three-point shooting element. And then we got NBA 75 Kobe, which I picked mine up for $40K. And my thing that I will say is this Kobe and where's the other one? Supernova Kobe, which are both going for roughly around $40K or below. They are not that much worse, if they're even really at all worse, than the two Invincible Kobe Bryants, especially if you're playing them at the 2 card. Like, I personally would say that this Kobe is like $350K, which is not a bad price for him for how good he is. But, like, at the same time, this Kobe, there is absolutely no reason to buy this one. Really, truly. I think it's much better to just buy the NBA 75 Kobe for $40K than spend $200K on this Kobe. They're essentially the same card. Like, it doesn't matter. There's really not a whole lot of difference. And if there is a difference, it's not marketable enough for you to really go out of your way to spend it. And I feel the same way about this Miami Glitch. I keep saying Glitch, dude. I don't know. Invincible Shaq. There's really no point to doing it, honestly. Like, it doesn't matter, truly. Where is Big Shaq Diesel, the real one, though? Yeah, this Shaq is... I mean, it's a Shaq that plays point guard. Like, you kind of know what you're getting with point guard Shaq. Like, he may not have the player build that you'd want at the center because they always make him smaller than he actually is for some reason. But at the point guard, my God, he's huge. He's 7'1". He plays point guard. Only an 89 3-pointer, but it really doesn't matter, truly. Like, he's 7'1" with 95 speed, I think, something around there. Yeah, 95 speed, 95 speed with ball. Yeah, he's a big boy Shaq that plays point guard. I mean, say what you will, he's gonna be holding it down, dude. Doesn't matter. I touched on the Invincibles a little bit. I mean, if you want this Kobe to play point guard, sure, pick him up, but I just think there's better point guard options for cheaper. And if you really want Kobe, you can just grab NBA 75 Kobe for a fraction of the cost, and the same goes for the Invincible Shaqs, both of them. Which I don't even know where the other one was. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I would say the same goes for the Invincible Shaqs. Like, it really doesn't matter. I forgot about Galactic Shaq. I would probably leave this one on the shelf, too. He's not quite as good. He's like $20K. You just might as well pick up Mark Williams for that price, honestly. Like, straight up. A lot of cards are cheaper than you would expect right now. Bull's actually up. Mo Bamba's like 20-something K. Even lower. He's going for like 15K. You should definitely pick him up for that price. He's phenomenal for that price. He's one of the best, if you want to call him a budget card, in the game. Same with Demarcus Cousins. I would say the same for him. DeMar's really cheap right now. Like, DeMar is dirt cheap. He's absolutely worth picking up too, especially if you're on current gen. Lonzo's phenomenal for the price he's going for. Like, there's a lot of good budget cards, period. Dyson's still really good on current gen. He's worth picking up as well. Depending on his price, he's kind of been fluctuating. Last night he was like 60, 70K. Now he seems to be back up to 80, 90K, which, I mean, he's still, technically speaking, worth that price, but it's hard to really justify picking him up. I think a lot of people are holding on to these next cards for at least the short term. These are not worth picking up unless you're locking in. If you're locking in, they're literally under 30K. So I'm not going to say this lock-in is going to be cheap by any means, because you never really know when it comes to 2K's lock-in situation. Like, for all we know, they're going to put out some that are going to be rarer than others, and it will actually be pretty difficult to lock in, but for now, we'll see. The one thing I will say about the lock-in, though, is they're using the 2K13 first. We're getting 20 total players, 2 at a time, right? So 20 total, 2 at a time, right? I would expect that as far as the card art goes, they're going to go 2K by 2K. So the next cards that we get are going to be 2K14 cards. The cards after that, 2K15, then 2K16, then 2K17, 2K18, 2K19. that would be my assumption. And then 2K20, 2K21, I don't know if they'll do 2K22s, but they probably do, I would assume. Or they'll leave 2K22 alone and just do like 2K21. I would, it'd be cool to see some 2K20 cards. We didn't get retro this year, so this is like the closest thing we're going to get to retro. So that's tight. And then I would assume we get a My Team anniversary. Yeah, I mean, an anniversary endgame card, I would guess. It's probably going to be something ridiculous like endgame taco or something, I would assume. They don't really like to lock those cards in. Being that the cards are this cheap, I would assume it's going to be less cool than we were anticipating. Like, I don't think it's going to be like Thon or like Taco or Bol Bol or something, or Kristaps. Like, it's probably going to be something a lot more tame. Like, Danny Ferry would be cool. Then again, what more can you really do to Danny Ferry? He's fine as is. I forgot about Taco. I just forget he exists, to be honest. He's just been out of my wheelhouse for so long. These cards, if they keep going and still releasing, Return of Heroes guys, if Return of Heroes guys start to be in the packs as consistently as I hope they will, Wilt will be a lot cheaper. You can get Kobe, who was like, he wasn't over 100K. I mean, he was close to it, for like 15K, like, which is crazy. And I mean, you can start to fill this collection out a lot cheaper if they start to kind of put it out there as much as I think they might. Now, that being said, there's going to be cards that I think are going to be spoilers. Hakeem is one that I think would be a spoiler card. I feel like we're not going to get another Hakeem, at least in this My Team Anniversary set. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it's possible that we don't. Same with Pau. Pau would be another one that I think maybe like a spoiler candidate. Like, his price might soar a little bit because we're probably not getting more. Steph, we're absolutely getting another Steph. So, I mean, if you have the Steph, probably not a terrible idea to get rid of him now, because there's no possible way we go this entire My Team Anniversary thing without seeing Steph. I just don't buy it. I truly do not buy it. I would hold off on buying any cards at the moment that aren't guys that are like ridiculously cheap, like Mo Bamba or like some of the next guys, just because we have no idea what 2K is going to be releasing this season. Oh yeah, Endgame Kobe and Endgame Shaq, yeah, are fucking ridiculous. Like, there's really no point to even speculate too much on, what they're going to be going for. I mean, this thing's a million MT over here, so I don't think that you're going to be able to get them for, any reasonable amount of MT. Like, it's going to be 1 point something million for sure. There's no possible way you can get this card for under 800K. Not Endgame Shaq. Not at this point. No, sir. There's absolutely no chance. Like, I guarantee if I were to bid this, it's already not high enough yet. See, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm just being cheeky with it. Like, I'm not even trying to do it in a way it would make a lot of sense, or I would have any chance of actually getting the card. Some things, we got some challenge. We got Endgame Kobe and Shaq for the pickup challenge. That's cool. Skill challenge. Like, you just have to win a game of 21 for another free Endgame pack, which the Dark Matters drop heavily from those. So like I'm not kidding. I'm not saying you're going to get the best Dark Matter if you open 2 of them, but if you open 2 of them, you have a high chance of actually just pulling a Dark Matter in general, which would feel good considering how bad 2K's odds have been this year, regardless if it's going to be the ones that no one wants, which are going to be at least 75% of the Dark Matter pulls. There's also the Shaq Signature Challenge, cool, whatever. That's fine. Then we got Domination. Domination's actually pretty tight. Every single game you win, you get a Hall of Fame badge choice pack, which 2K is going to start, well, they are already, but even more so in the coming weeks, they're going to start handing out Hoff badges like candy. Like, truly, they're going to hand them out so much because Hoff badges are essentially meaningless at this point. We have endgame cards coming out consistently, along with invincible cards that are going to start quickly approaching buyout territory, if not outright buyouts. You know what I mean? So it's really not, meaningful anymore. Like, yeah, I mean, if you get them quick enough, you can put them on a certain card and probably make some MT, but I mean, for the most part, it's not really going to do much in 2-3 weeks, like, honestly. Then we got all the stuff. They put Mark Eaton behind the wheel spin because they hate me and they want to see me suffer, and I hate my life, so that's cool. Draft is here. That's tight. I'll go ahead and draft my team real quick. I'm interested to see how the draft stuff works because you get guaranteed Dark Matters, and I'm kind of curious as to how that works. So let's see what's up. I don't know how this is going to work exactly. So I got Demarcus Cousins, Jimmy Butler, and Tari Easton. Not exactly the best dark matters in the world, but you know what? Getting a good center early is always really nice. Get a +3 perimeter centric Dirk coach. Yup. Yeah, I mean, you get some like solid baselines for your team. I got DeMar DeRozan, Mo Williams, and Mike Bibby. You dude, gross, man. That's not how we want to start things for sure. Evan Fournier, Cade. Okay, I guess we're running Evan and Cade, I guess. I guess I have no choice. Cade off the bench isn't awful, dude. I just feel like I have the worst draft luck. I really do. Caron Butler, Pink Diamond, Kawhi, and Vic Krejci. Thank God I got Tari Easton. I would have liked to get another point guard that wasn't DeMar DeRozan and Mo Williams, but, you know, things just don't go well for me, apparently. We got Yee and Jay Crowder. All right. Once again, pretty terrible luck that I'm having right now, unless I somehow manage to get, like, a center that plays point guard, which isn't looking likely. I got Drummond and Greg Oden. Okay. Not an ideal draft team, let me tell you. Having to run Mo Williams is not going to be something that I really enjoy doing, but it is what it is. Draft is draft. Pete Maravich is out here. Pete Maravich looks good. I don't know what I just said right there, but it sounded right. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Unlimited in 2, so I really don't care. Then we got Limited, 1 Diamond, the rest Ruby or Sapphire. So pretty much every team that you run into is going to be running the Rui Hachimura, Denny Avdija duo, which with Smush Parker at point guard. That would be my assumption. And I can't really fault anyone for doing that. So, I mean, I would, if I had to guess, the majority of teams that you're going to run into, at least the Super Sweatlords, are probably using Smush at point guard, DeAndre Hunter at shooting guard, Rui Denny duo, and Sabonis. And that's the starting lineup, I would guess. That's my assumption. That's what I'm going to use. So, I mean, I would assume I'm not the smartest person in the world. We also got an exchange for Jaren Jackson Jr. It's actually not that bad. Any color power forward, Grizzly players, like, not terrible. And 2 opals, which opals are, like, not very expensive at this point. So you can actually lock in for Jaren Jackson relatively cheap, and he is fire. I know people are going to say his jump shot sucks, but it is what it is. If you want to go token splurging, Julius Erving's out there. He's got Rudy base and elite level dribble move, so he is an endgame card through and through already. People don't consider Rudy base an endgame base, but I would consider it an end base. I really would. It's fire. It's been fire since day one. I'm sorry. This is the squad I'm running at the moment. Yeah, I'm running Big Shaq Diesel at power forward with Boban, like real toxic. Like I might switch it up. Like I might run Shaq Diesel and Boban in the starting lineup, and Hakeem and Ben Wallace on the bench. But I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But Boban is a definite must. I have to run this man. He's huge. Like I have to. As always, it's been your boy Cheap Ludes. Look, I can't co-sign opening up these packs just because. I mean, the odds are probably the best that we've seen this year, realistically, to pull a dark matter. It's just like, if you're going into it wanting to pull, like, point guard Shaq, either the endgame cards or the invincibles, like, you're going to probably have at least partially of a bad time because you're just going to pull these two 75% of the time and then, like, one of these other ones a few of the other times. So, hey, do what you will with that information.